Hello YouTube, my name is Dom, and today I have a awesome video, a thought video, a philosophy video. Now please, if I lost you there, please don't leave quite yet, because I'm telling you, I really do think this is good and it has huge implications for Ghost Recon or pretty much any tactical situation. Before I get started, I am coming up on 1,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. I am going to be doing a special videos for when I hit 1,000 subscribers. Any ideas for what you want to hear in that video, please leave them down in the comment section for me. And as always, please drop me a like or a dislike depending on how you agreed with the video or how you enjoyed it. And please leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. But anyway, let's go ahead and let's get started. When I was on vacation, okay, I was on vacation last week. I actually came back last week. I was reading a lot of philosophy when I'm on vacation. Now I came across there's a famous philosopher. His name is David Hume. And I'm reading David Hume. If you've ever had an introductory to philosophy course in college or whatnot, then you probably know who David Hume is. But anyway, he had an idea, not really an idea, but a logical proof in one of his books that I was reading called An Inquiry to Human Understanding, or Human Concerning Human, some shit like that. I was reading it and this just hit me like a fucking bag of bricks. I immediately thought, holy shit, what kind of implication does this have for Ghost Recon? This is a huge thought experiment. And anyway, I implemented it into Ghost Recon, this idea, and it fucking changed almost everything for me. So I'm thinking about League team. You know, we're coming up on the Ghost Recon League team. I already have my team together and everything. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, these guys that we're going to be going against have tons of experience. They're going to have way more experience than probably everybody on our team. They're going to be knowing what they're doing. You know, if we come in with a tactical, strategic gameplay style, I'm guessing that we're going to have a really good chance of doing this. And this goes hand in hand with that. So to begin, there are two ways, two different things, two categories of what we can know. In reality, there's two categories. There's things that we can know through a priori reasoning, which means by thinking about things. You know, an example of that would be math. 2 + 2 = 4. You don't need to go out into the world and actually experiment that to figure out that that's fucking true. You can just think about it. And then there's things called a posteriori knowledge, which is everything around you, how you reason about things that happen out in the world. Ghost Recon is almost entirely a posteriori. You're reasoning about where people are at based on what intel you've gathered, where you see people going, and things like that. Now, when it comes down to it, he'll go through all of these proofs and basically show that what you know about, you don't know anything for sure about the world. You basically know probabilities about what things are going to be happening. You know cause and effect, essentially. And what that means is if I throw a rock at my fucking wall, I know it's probably going to cause a huge hole in my wall. It's going to fuck up my wall. Okay, how do I know that? From cause and effect and from experience. I've fucking hit things with rocks. I've hit walls with things. I know what happens, right? That comes from experience. Same thing in Ghost Recon. When somebody is doing this and this interaction happens, this is probably where they're going to go. This is what's going to happen. It's cause and effect. You throw up a drone. If someone has a tech, they're going to lay down their jammer. You know, they have a sniper, they're probably going to shoot it down. These are things that we reason. These are cause and effect, and that's how we know things. So essentially what it comes down to is the more experience that you have, the more knowledge that you have. Same in Ghost Recon, the more experience you have with it, the more you're going to know what people do in certain situations, how people react with what classes they're playing, and what people do, what people tend to do, and that's the key word, tend to do in these situations. Now you can take advantage of that like a motherfucker, and I did, and it works amazing. Because here's what happens. I'm gonna show a clip in the background, and this was actually from a diversionist video I did. If you recognize it, kudos to you. I'm shooting at this guy. He runs around this obstacle, and then he tries to cut me off at the other end. A common strategy. I see that and I counter it, because the probability of him running over there from my past experience, I gathered, was about 80%. And I just ran over there, and that's what I learned from my own experience. That's what people tend to do. So you can take advantage of that by playing to situations that have a low probability. That means that people will generally not anticipate your presence in certain areas. If this guy that I was playing against would have ran back, hid behind an obstacle, or laid on the ground back there, that would have been a low probability situation, and it would have fucked me over. My experience would have been serving me wrong. Now, that may take a minute to grasp, but everything you know about this game is experience. And I'll read a quote by David Hume in this essay that I think explains it perfectly. And it says, if there be any suspicion that the course of nature may change, the course of Ghost Recon tactics may change, and that the past may be no rule for the future, all experience becomes useless and can give no rise to inference or conclusion. Now what that means is, if the course of the game changes and you start playing to low probability situations, you run this way instead of where your instinct tells you, where experience tells you to go, you do the opposite, or not even necessarily the opposite, but you do something that is a low probability of happening. For example, if someone's shooting at you behind cover, not challenging them would be a low probability situation, because a lot of people tend to challenge. If you don't do that, what can their experience do for them? Their experience no longer serves a purpose, because they believe they understand the course of how things play out and where people go. But that's not the case anymore, because you fucked them. You've turned the tables on them, and you've got them second guessing themselves. Think about it like this. Even if you die and people, you're playing in these situations, you have these close-up gunfights, whatever, and you run left instead of right. And right is the 80% probability they're going to be anticipating you running that way 80% of the time. And instead you go left. All of a sudden, people notice this. They say, well, why didn't that guy go that way? I've played this game so many times, and in this situation, they always do that thing. But you don't do that thing. And you move to a different situation that maybe your instinct probably tells you not to do. People don't anticipate those things generally. And as soon as you do that, you get people second guessing themselves. So the next time they encounter you, it's like, well, what the fuck is this guy gonna do? You don't know. And that's really what it comes down to, is playing to low probability situations. And I was doing this in my own experience. I was playing with tank, and I love tank. And in close-up gunfights, when my instinct would tell me to rush a flank and to try to come up behind people, I wouldn't. I restrained myself. And I did, and I thought, what would be the improbable thing to do in this situation? And maybe it was hiding behind a rock when I had the advantage. Maybe it was rushing a point man. Maybe it was rushing the middle and doing something that people don't normally do. And it does not matter if you die in the early rounds, because guess what you're doing? You're throwing them for a loop. You are giving them a situation that they have not been presented with before, or very often. Their experience is useless. And that is the key to this tactic and to this strategy, and I think that's going to be the key going forward for my team. And I think others are going to follow suit when you realize the power of this. Go into Ghost Recon, play by yourself, play in randoms. It doesn't fucking matter. If you're playing against experienced players, they're going to get screwed. And I was also thinking about this too, is when you go against low-level players, you'll get fucked by them sometimes. Why is that? Because they're inexperienced. They do things that normal people don't do. You don't anticipate it. I don't like using the word expectations. Don't do what, be unexpected, because you can expect a low probability. You can expect that. You can expect somebody to run to the bad part of the map. You can expect that. But low probabilities are a little bit different, because even if they're expecting it, they should know that it's not the normal course of action. Please let me know your comments, your thoughts down in the comment section below. And I promise you try this out in online, you are gonna have success with it. It makes sense why you would. I have had success myself, and this is something that I'm going to go forward with, because when you go against teams that are better than you, you have to rely on the low probability situations. You have to rely on those so that you do what is not anticipated. People start to panic when those situations happen, because they have not been presented with them before, and you're going to treat them to a new learning experience. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave your thoughts, comments, opinions about the video down in the comment section below. Please let me know what you think. Any ideas for future videos, also drop them down there. Also, for my 1,000 subscriber video, please drop any ideas or what you want to see in that video down below. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.
Taking fire! Taking fire!
Nice.